And I have a little visitor. I don't know if you can hear the clicking, but my dog just pushed his head into the door and came in. Let me see, hold on for a second. Is he there? Oh, look you're seeing all my mess. There he is. Hi, Bandit. Bandit. Hi. So yes, I have a little visitor and you saw my messy room, but oh well. I'm nothing if not transparent. Hey, it's Kim at Middle of the Book March. This is my bookish week for Saturday, February 6th, 2021. Let's see. It's been another one of those weeks where I finished one book. That's okay. It's okay. I'll be fine. Yeah, but I've got way more on the go than I do in the completed section of my booktube ledger. So let me describe to you which book I finished and what I thought of it. This is a novel, Migrations by Charlotte McConaghy. She's an Australian author. This is her US debut. The book was published in 2020, so published last year. This was the book we picked for my In Real Life Critical Chicks book group. And let's see, I really loved her writing. It's gorgeous writing. The book starts off in Greenland. It's wicked cold. And I think I said this in my previous video. I felt cold reading it. It's very good writing when it makes you feel the atmosphere. It's the main character is a young woman who came from Ireland. Her name is Franny Stone, and she is following Arctic terns, a small white bird, and she's following them from Greenland, hopefully all the way to Antarctica to follow their migration path. Now, the book is set in a somewhat dystopian time period after animals are starting to be wiped out by extinction. So there's a lot of discussion about what humans have done to cause animals to go extinct, what the repercussions are of humans' actions in the world, whether it's climate change or animal eradication. There's a lot of discussion about that in the book. But the writing is really beautiful. I keep pausing because the thing I did not like about the book was the main character. I really did not like her. And it's not that that doesn't sway me if it's an unlikable protagonist or antagonist or whatever. I just thought she was flighty, no pun intended, reckless, and dangerous to the people around her. The book is short, and there's a lot of paths that the author follows to talk about Franny's backstory, her family life. What's her motivation for following these little birds across the world? How does she do that? And what is her expertise? What is her education? Why is she following birds? Why is that so important to her? She meets up with a ship's captain, and she convinces this ship's captain and his crew to take her on board and to sail her to Antarctica. And it's just a weird situation where, for some reason, they are convinced to do this. It's not easy on her part to talk them into it, but they do it. But there's all kinds of different offshoots of the story. And it goes back and forth in time, back when she was a girl, back when she had to go live with her paternal grandmother, because very early in the book, at the age of 10, she ran away from home for a couple of days with a little boy, or a boy, and when she got back, her mother was gone. That's what we read in the very beginning of the book, and that's supposedly the event that shapes her future, and in the narrative, shapes her present. But what we learn about her is that she's reckless. She makes choices that are bad. She is in love with the ocean, and she'll take off her clothes and jump into the ocean at any time, anywhere, at any temperature, at any time of day or night. She is a wanderer, and she's a sleepwalker, so she gets herself into some really hairy situations. based on sleepwalking, and she actually lost a couple of toes to frostbite after walking through the snow and having her feet frozen. She's a sympathetic character, but I just did not, I guess, relate to her. And maybe I was like not approving of her as a person because she's reckless and she caused pain to the people around her. And for whatever reason, she made the choices that she did. Even when I finished the book, I just was like, no, those are not good enough reasons to do what she did. And I didn't really like that part of the author's story, how she talked about the desire for this character to follow these birds and why. The things that she said and did to the people around her. The events that took place towards the end of the book. There was a lot of things in a very short novel that were not wrapped up well, in my opinion. Even though I don't always need a happily ever after, tie it with a bow, it's done now. I don't need that. But this was like all kinds of unanswered questions all over the place, and plot holes, in my opinion. But I did love the writing, and now I really look forward to seeing what she comes out with next, because I thought the writing was really beautiful. So I gave it a pretty high rating on Goodreads. I think I gave it a 4-star. Because it was the type of book that I really did want to pick up and keep reading, and I really loved the writing. How many times have I said that? That's the only book I finished. I did DNF a book. Hello, this Gigantor. I got almost a third of the way through. Now, I'm doing a Thomas Cromwell 2021 read-along this whole year, and I wanted to read this biography in the first quarter of 2021, and then I'm going to start the Hilary Mantel Wolf Hall trilogy, but I need another degree to understand this, not necessarily to understand it, but to disseminate the information that I'm reading. I lost interest. I lost the desire to follow the names and the dates and the history and the people. I did gain quite a bit of knowledge, of emotional knowledge about who Thomas Cromwell was, why he was important to English history, why he was important to religious history, to royal history. I gained all of that. I got a little glimpse into the type of person that he was, but the really interesting thing about Cromwell is there is no personal correspondence directly from him that McCulloch relied on to paint a portrait of this man. So it's all based on historical documents, correspondence from other people to him, but none in his own words. So it's a fascinating perspective from Dermot McCulloch. And what I did do is when I decided to DNF the book, which I felt really guilty about, but the group on Voxer was like, don't worry about it. I probably would have done the same thing. What I did do is I went on YouTube and I found videos from McCulloch himself and some other videos that I watched and got a really good picture as to who Thomas Cromwell was. This is a very academic, dense book that it just was not for me. And I will hang on to it to kind of use it as a reference book and go back and forth maybe and look things up. It's kind of like a Cromwell encyclopedia, so not the kind of book for me that I would sit and read. I think I actually hurt my shoulder holding that book up. It also could be due to age. Okay, what am I currently reading? Here we go. For the BookTube prize, so I won't say anything about this one, I'm reading fiction for the first round, the octofinals. Just started George Eliot's Scenes of Clerical Life for my George Eliot read-along. This is the book for February. And I am still listening to My Own Words by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm probably about almost 75% done with that book, and I'm listening to that in my car. I don't know if you can hear the laughing, but that's my daughter in the other room, and I can't get up and close the door, so you might hear the giggling. But you must listen to Ruth Bader Ginsburg's My Own Words. It's a brilliant audio. I'm listening to it in the car, and I have to remind myself not to cry because I'm driving. but there are so many points in the book that I'm crying. It is so powerful because you hear her voice. She narrates the introduction to the book, and Linda Lavin is the one who reads the parts of the book that are biographical in nature or are listing Ruth Bader Ginsburg's court decisions, her legal career, but interspersed with Linda Lavin's narrative voice, which is really good in this book. You hear recordings of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You hear recordings of Martin Ginsburg, her husband. You hear her speeches when she was nominated by President Bill Clinton. You hear her acceptance at her appointment by Congress, Senate? I don't remember. But it's a very powerful look into her legal career, and it's a glorious book. The audio is just spectacular, so you must listen to it on audio. I think that's it. Yeah, that's about it. I finished one book. I don't care. I'm happy with that. I've got I'm looking over at my little table over there. I've got a whole stack of stuff for February's reading. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 10 books stacked over there. Now, 1, 2 for sure I'm not going to get to in February. So that leaves 8. There's another one that is a nonfiction selection for my These Truths reading. So I could read that. I could push that out to March. So that's what, 7? Oh, and then another one is fiction for my These Truths reading selections. And I could push that out to March as well. So that leaves 6. 6 additional books, along with this one that I will finish in February, this one that I will finish in February, and yeah, so these 2, I'll finish Ruth's book because I'm listening to that in my car, and that's really easy to finish. So I think I might be able to finish another 6 books. It's only the 6th, right? I got a lot of reading, and I got to stop binge watching Netflix, and I got to knuckle down and just keep reading and open the book and just keep reading, just keep reading, just keep reading. One thing I do want to say, I just posted my response video to the Challenges of Newbie Booktubing by Barb at The Font and Kit at Kit's World. I just want to say thank you so much to the people that have responded to that video. And in particular, I want to say how wonderful the commenters are who are not also booktubers. It's not that I don't appreciate my booktuber friends. You are all amazing. I love you. But I want to point out and I want to kind of highlight those people that are viewers or subscribers or don't have their own booktube channel. When you say things like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you guys do this every week. Or they say to me, I love watching your channel. I love your videos. And it is so, it's heartwarming and it is so encouraging. And that's what fuels me. And I'm sure there are other booktube creators who would say the same thing. It's fuel and it's motivation. And it's so encouraging and warm. And I really appreciate that. So thank you all so much for that. That's it for me this week. I hope you've had a good week. I hope you're reading some good stuff. Let me know down below what those are. Let me know what you think of any of the books I talked about. If you want more information and you want to join in on the George Eliot read-along here and there, let me know that. I have a schedule. I can show it to you. If you're interested in reading Wolf Hall, I'm going to start that on April 1st. And there's Wolf Hall, Bring Up the Bodies, and The Mirror in the Light. Wolf Hall is going to go from April, May, June. Bring Up the Bodies is July, August, September. And The Mirror in the Light, October, November, December. So if you are interested in either of those read-alongs, I have summary videos for both. You can go and look at those, or let me know in the comments below and I will share the link. And I will also share the schedule if you want to do that. Let me know, write me a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.